All right, hello and welcome to the second episode of the Jungle Sports Podcast. Today, August 30th. And we got a couple of topics to talk about. We got some college football news, a little NBA, and a little NFL. But we're going to dabble in all of it, I can assure you. So why don't we hop into our possibly biggest topic of the day. Teddy Bridgewater was traded yesterday evening time, I believe, on the East Coast. Anywho, traded to the Saints for a third-round pick, and I believe some cash was maybe thrown in there. It's an interesting trade because Drew Brees is approaching 40. Teddy Bridgewater steps in there as a potential replacement, a backup for this season, I might say, because Tom Savage is in that role right now. And Tom Savage, he's a good backup, but Teddy Bridgewater's a starter. So that knocks out Tom Savage. And I like the deal. I think there was some better potential destinations that he could have gone to that would have made for a better fit. Maybe Jacksonville, maybe who were some other names that were there were some other names being thrown around, but it's a good fit. It's a good fit. We'll see how it turns out. We're gonna have to wait a year or two though before we see anything there. Jalen Ramsey back in the news. He's been throwing around some more shade the past couple days. This time, Rob Gronkowski is a victim. And Danny Amendola as well. All right. So he's taking some shots. He praised Tom Brady, by the way, but he's quoting Ramsey here. People think Amendola is so great, though he's not. Tom Brady made him look good. Tom could take me as a receiver, and I'd be a first-team All-Pro. Ramsey added, he doesn't think Gronk is as great as people think he is because anytime Gronk has been matched up with a corner, he's had a very bad game. Also threw some shade at former head coach Jimbo Fisher. He described him as okay. And you're not missing out if you've never met him. That's for a guy that recruited you and took you under his wing. I don't know if he took him under his wing, but you know what I'm saying. This was your coach, I've had coaches in the past. I did sports in high school, and you don't do that to your coach. You don't talk about your coach like that. Unless you're just a terrible guy, which maybe that's the case. I don't know. He did leave FSU for Texas A&M, which is a lateral toss, if you ask me. Also talked about DeAndre Hopkins by saying he's had freaking 100 quarterbacks and they're all trash. Yeah, I don't agree with that. No, I think DeAndre Hopkins is pretty good, but he's in the division. They're rivals with Jacksonville. You can obviously see. He also said the Jaguars can win a Super Bowl with Blake Bortles at quarterback. The Jaguars can win a Super Bowl with their defense. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback. I understand you got to have a quarterback to win a Super Bowl, but Peyton Manning won it in that last year where he was just kind of mediocre. Look at just last season, Nick Foles. He was playing well in the playoffs, but I'd say he's just average quarterback. I think Blake Bortles could potentially be like a Nick Foles come playoff time. I don't see why not. We're going to hop into different sport here. I think we've covered, basically everything that the NFL has to offer. Let's talk NBA rumors real quick. There's not a lot there, but there's some things to be talked about. David West announced his retirement. Last played for the Golden State Warriors. Had a good run there, picked up a couple rings, and he's going to hit the road. Talking about that. 15 seasons in the NBA. It's a lot. Timberwolves are going to bring back some classic jerseys that were from the Garnett days. Those look good. Really not a lot here. Why don't we read this list of which stars should really be sidekicks real quick? First one on the list is DeMar DeRozan. So he's the guy that's going to be carrying San Antonio this year. He's carried Toronto the past couple seasons. And yeah, I'd agree with that. I think he'd be very good sidekick, and he's not necessarily good enough to lead the team. So I can see that. Blake Griffin. I'd almost say he plays sidekick to Andre Drummond right now. I think Blake Griffin has kind of fallen from the stars over the past couple seasons. And, Andre Drummond is Detroit. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He was drafted there. Blake Griffin was traded there. I think he kind of plays sidekick right now, even though many probably view them as equal, and that might be fair. Kevin Love. Yeah, he's going to be the leading man in Cleveland, and he is very obviously a sidekick. But, I can't say I'm 100% certain of that, though, because in Minnesota, he was the leading man there. Those teams never performed very well. However, he was young, so, if you wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, he's young, kind of like a Kyrie situation early in his career with Cleveland, got close before LeBron was there, but as the leading man, you could throw Kevin Love in there. But, yeah, I'd agree with that. I say Kevin Love should probably be a sidekick. Kemba Walker. I think he'd be a great sidekick for LeBron. I know people talk about it all the time, but if you can somehow get him out to L.A., shoot, just send Lonzo to the Hornets. They need to go younger anyways. A ball for Walker. Rondo is back up. How about that? Could you imagine? LeVar in Carolinas. Where the heck is Charlotte? Yeah. All I could think was Carolinas because I knew it was in North Carolina. It's Charlotte. Who cares? John Wall. He's always struggled to lead his team. The Wizards in the playoffs, they never got past the second round. We've always viewed John Wall as a potential top 5 point guard, but can point guards lead a team, though? I think Steph Curry has proved they can. But can John Wall? That's an interesting one. I think you may have something there. But I think Bradley Beal is a sidekick. So is John Wall a sidekick, and just John Wall and Bradley Beal are both sidekicks, and is Dwight Howard a sidekick? No, I feel like he's a fourth or fifth best guy on whatever team he would join. We're going to read one more list here before we jump to the next league. 5 NBA rookies who can exceed expectations in 2018-19. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Clippers. I think people are sleeping on him. People look at Trae Young. They look at Colin Sexton. They look at these guys first as point guards coming out of this new class. And people are forgetting about, Gilgeous-Alexander, who averaged 19 points, 4 assists, Summer League, played very well at Kentucky. Kevin Huerter next up on the list of the Atlanta Hawks. I don't think we'll be seeing a lot from him. We'll probably see something along the lines of like 8 points per game, 2 rebounds in this rookie season, We'll see something along the lines of that. Maybe, we'll throw in like maybe 3 rebounds, 2 assists, something like that. A decent little stat line. Should probably be coming off the bench. I don't think he's starter material yet. You can mark my words on that one. Grayson Allen of Utah. This one's interesting. Grayson Allen, he can be that, I won't say sixth man, but that bench spark, 7th or 8th guy on a team, rebounds, assists, he can shoot. Next up is Mitchell Robinson of the New York Knicks, taken 36th. He's played efficiently. Enes Kanter's the big man on that team right now, but man, Robinson looked very good in that summer league. I think a lot of teams slip on him. Next up is, in the last of this list, DeAnthony Melton of the Houston Rockets. I think we could see some DeAnthony Melton in Houston this season. He played very well in the summer league. He had 16.7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. That is a versatile player. And, of course, there's Michael Carter-Williams, also another point guard on Houston, but I don't think he'll be very hard to beat out. And then I think you're looking at Melton potentially getting some minutes this year. Now, I understand that Harden and Paul will constantly be holding up that point guard position, but maybe if you wanted to run Melton and Harden out there, or if you wanted to run Melton and Paul at the same time, he serves as that 2 guard, which is could make for some interesting lineups. That team's got a lot of versatile players. Well, I say versatile. They lost Luke Mbamute, which I think could have been. I think he was important to that team, and they'll notice that he's gone. But also Trevor Ariza. I think I was talking about Trevor Ariza. I said Luke Mbamute. Luke Mbamute's a good defender as well, but I meant Trevor Ariza. All right. Anyways, we'll move on to college football now, and we got some topics here. Zach Smith went on a Twitter rant. I didn't see this. Let's see what he had to say. Oh my gosh. So last week we did touch on the Urban Meyer and Zach Smith chaos that's going on at Ohio State right now. And supposedly former Ohio State wide receivers coach Zach Smith, disgraced figure now, has gone on to Twitter to say, "Hey, Brett McMurphy, Feinbaum, and everyone at ESPN, look at these faces. You heartless and moralless clowns, every lie or dramatic version of the truth you report, you hurt these precious children, just like their mom has and continues to. Do you have families, kids?" Smith tweeted this while posting a picture of his children. He continues, "Let's talk facts since so many people want to talk. My kids are suffering because of all this. I never beat my wife. And Ohio State University botched the investigation and worse off, the punishment." He also goes on to say, "I want to apologize to Buckeye Nation. I followed my heart, not my head, at each juncture." Oh, wait, this is what Meyer said. What am I doing? I am messing up here reading this article. Anyways, you get the point. He's hot. He is mad. All these figures at ESPN, they had, I think most of the talk has been about Meyer, but Zach Smith has also been included, and he's not happy about it. So, he obviously thinks there was some unjust talk going on there. destinations for the next couple college football playoffs. In 2021, it'll be in South Florida, the championship. 2022, it'll be in Indianapolis. 2023, it'll be in LA. 2024, Houston. Interesting. Yeah, they're good destinations. They kind of always bounce around to the same places, though. And, but yeah, tomorrow we got college football coming up. And tomorrow's week 1. Some big games out there. Auburn's playing Washington, Miami, and LSU are Sunday, I believe. Yeah. We can talk about the quarterback battles won. I know some in particular, like at Florida, Felipe Franks is back, which they're probably not too thrilled about that considering he wasn't very good last season. Kind of disappointing to see that there was nobody there to step up and take that job. Hopefully he improves. I wish the best for all these young guys, but, there's got to be some concern there. LSU, Joe Burrow won. And Michigan, which is the obvious. Shea Patterson won that job. So to finish off here, we'll touch on the matchups coming up this weekend. I'll make some picks. And, week 1 predictions. So tonight, we got some games. UCF makes their debut against Connecticut. Obviously, I think, that game will be in Connecticut, but UCF will probably take that one. Wow. Big Ten matchup, Northwestern at Purdue tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Purdue probably take that one. They retained the coach there, who did a fantastic job last season. So Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher will make his debut at Texas A&M tonight, 8:30 Eastern. Probably can catch that on the SEC Network if I had to guess. Tomorrow night, Syracuse, Western Michigan. Michigan State will be making their debut against Utah State, which I think Utah State, I watched that game last season. I forget who they played, but they like to match up against those Big Ten teams. Wisconsin, number 4 Wisconsin will take on Western Kentucky. I'll just make my picks for the bigger games. These are obvious, kind of, Wisconsin's going to win their game, and, so on and so forth. Okay, so this is a Saturday early game. Ohio State will take on Oregon State. That's a Big Ten Pac-12 matchup. Probably Ohio State will run them out of the building. Could be close in the first quarter. Shake off the rust there at Ohio State. Urban Meyer won't be there. Texas will play Maryland again. They faced last season, and it was a high-scoring 51-41 victory for Maryland. Maryland going through some stuff right now as well with their coach. Ole Miss will take on Texas Tech. This feels like a bowl game almost. Probably going to see Ole Miss win there, but it'll be close. Furman will make their debut. Why did I say Furman? Clemson will play Furman in their debut. And let's see what else we got here. Some afternoon games. Georgia will make their debut against Austin Peay. I believe they faced off last season. Of course. Coming on at 3:30. It'll probably be an ABC game. Washington will take on Auburn. And that game is almost impossible to pick right now. And, wow. I'll probably go Auburn in that game. But crazy matchup for week 1, which last year we got Alabama and FSU, which obviously didn't turn out to be that big of a game. But Tennessee takes West Virginia. evening games, Boise State, Troy, Michigan, and Notre Dame. The return of that classic rivalry. That'll be a good one. I'll probably take Michigan in that one. Yeah. I think, it's week 1. We're not going to get a ton of big games, but there's a couple there. A couple good ones. But yeah, excited to see. Oh, sorry, I'm missing the last section here. I'm whiffing this. All right, so the night games. We got Louisville, Alabama. Alabama, Louisville without Lamar Jackson now, so they'll be, Jawan Pass will be the starter there now, and that's the big night game. Can't really say seeing any other. Arizona will be back, and of course they got that Khalil Tate. That'll be a fun one to watch. And then on Sunday, the Miami and LSU. That'll be a good one. I think Miami wins that one. And then Virginia Tech and Florida State Monday. Better tune in. That's all I gotta say on that one. Yeah, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. We had a good run. We get these up in the afternoons. And, we'll see you next week. I think the next podcast, we're sticking to Thursdays. Next one will probably be on the 6th. Just tune back in on the 6th. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Hit the subscribe button, Don't want to miss out on, we like to relax here. Talk some sports. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. You got any topics you want to hear me talk about? Sports related, of course. Throw them at me. I'll take them on. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Peace.